Hello guys, welcome back. So in the last video I talked about how to create page objects. Okay, so we have created page objects for 4 different web pages which we are going to working on. We have 2 more pages, choose price option and send code, but that we will be creating later on when it is required. Now let's go and start creating some test. Okay, basic test. Okay, so see how I'm going the way like uh, how we work in real time. Okay, so first let us start creating one basic test case, and then we will create test base and reusable component as and when we need them, right? So some people might follow the practice like, okay, they will copy all the existing stuff from their old project to the new project, but since we are learning it, we are developing it from scratch, I am following this particular approach. Okay, so in this particular video, which is the ninth video of this series, I am going to create create basic test case. Okay, so as I told you, we are going to have all our test cases into a package called as source test java. Let us create one class over here, and sorry, I should create a package first. So let me create, because that's the source folder, let me create one package, and I'll name the package as, let's say, uh, UI test cases. Let's say UI tests, whatever you can name it according to the business areas or in your application. For me it is UI test cases. You may segregate them based on uh, okay, if I take you through one sample example. Okay, so let's say I am working on some form validation system. Okay, so this is specific to banking application. So in banking, if we talk about US banking, then they have lot many banking forms. For example, W9 forms, W8 W8 forms. Then under W8 they have multiple options like W8 Ben E and W8 IMY. Like that we have multiple forms. Okay, we have many more in that case. So in these forms as well, there are let's say two kinds of forms. One is onshore forms, and other one is offshore forms. Okay, and in each onshore and offshore we have all these different kind of forms. Let's say in W8, sorry, in onshore forms we have these many forms, and in offshore we have these many forms, right? So what I will do is, in this kind of scenario, I will create one package with the name of onshore forms, and under that onshore forms I will create different classes. For example, for W9, if I have, let's say, 20 test cases, then I will create one class with name, let's say, W9 test cases, under package called as offshore forms, in which I will write all my 20 test cases. I will create another class for W8 test cases, let's say, for which I have 28 test cases. Okay, I'll create another one for W8 Benny, which is quite big. For that, let's say I have 110 test cases. So for this, I will create a separate class. So likewise, we can create a packages, create the classes based on the business functionality, the business requirement, or the functionality of your application. Okay, so in my case, since it is a very simple and standalone application which is for calculation of insurance, right? Or let me make it as for motorcycle insurance calculation underscore motorcycle, because we have, let's say, 4 areas motorcycle, whatever options we have on the application, right? So out of that I'm working currently on motorcycle, so I have created this particular package. Now under this package I'll be having, let's say, two kind of test cases. One is going to be my end-to-end test cases, end-to-end test cases, end-to-end tests underscore motorcycle. Okay, and another class I am going to create over here is for error scenarios. Okay, so I'll do another class called as error. For class, its a name should start with uppercase. Error tests, I'll whatever you call it, right? Error tests underscore motorcycle. Okay, so I have created some packages and classes. Now let's first start talking about end-to-end test. Error test we can work it on final at the last step, but first let us start working on end-to-end test. Okay, so to work with test cases, the very first thing you should know is TestNG and why we use TestNG. Right? You should be knowing that if we are using TestNG, then there is no need of main method, right? So we can directly create a test case. For example, public void. I'll give the name as insurance calculate underscore whatever my first test case it is. Let's say it is for Volvo motor, whatever it is. Okay, and then that's it. I have created this particular method, and if it is testng, then we can convert any method into test case simply by annotating that with the @test annotation. Okay, so these are the basic things we should know before we work on framework development. Okay, now we will create a test base and all in some more time, but for now let us start creating some basic tests. So how we work, we create something like WebDriver. Give me a minute. WebDriver driver is equal to new, let's say Chrome driver. Okay, great. And before we define this WebDriver, we should do the system.set property, right, in order to set the driver executable, right? So in my case, I'm not doing that particular setting manually. What I'm doing is I am using something called as WebDriver manager, which is used to manage the dependencies. Okay, you can search for the video for this WebDriver manager. I have in my channel a very detailed video, couple of videos, how it works externally and how it works internally, both the videos. Okay, so in order to use WebDriver manager into your project, you should have the dependency for WebDriver manager. So let me get it. The very first one, and the latest version is 4.0. Okay, I have copied. Let me put it in my pom.xml. Okay, fine. So now, if your question is why we are taking this WebDriver manager, then it is because I don't want to add driver executable manually by doing system.set property, then download the Chrome driver.exe or Gecko driver.exe and set the system path. I don't want to do that manually. So what I'll do is I will use something called as WebDriver manager. So if I do something like WebDriver manager, I will get now suggestion called WebDriver manager coming from this particular package ivo.github.bonigarcia.wdm, and under this I have multiple drivers. For example, in my case I am using on Chrome driver dot setup, simply setup method, that will work. Okay, and that's it. So now my what I'll do is I will use driver dot navigate, or let me use driver dot first manage dot timeout. Let's set implicit timeout, implicitly wait for, let's say, 10 seconds, and my timeout is going to be seconds. Great. Let me maximize driver dot manage dot window dot maximize. Great. And now I will navigate to my application, driver dot get, and give me a minute, driver dot get, and what is my application URL? Again, this application URL we are going to put into properties file, right? So my application URL is this. Okay, so if I execute this particular step, it should work perfectly. it is giving some error because of logger. We will minimize that once we are done with our framework development. That is just the adding of matter of dependencies for SLF4J. And yes, we are able to navigate. Great. So okay, so likewise, so this is for one test case, right? So if I create multiple test cases, for example, if I have second test case, let's say it is for Ford motor. Let's say this is for Ford motor. Right now here I am declaring the WebDriver again and again, right? I am using all these methods again and again. So this should be under some common method, right? And that is what we are going to do now. All these, so see, this is the basic setup before we begin your test creation or test execution, right? So that is why we will put them into something called as test base, right? So what I'll do is, under test base package, I will create one class called as let's say test base. You can give any meaningful name. Okay, I'm giving the name itself as a test base, should be fine. And since in this case we are going to declare a WebDriver as a static one, this shouldn't be much matter for us. But in our next framework we will define, or basically we will create a thread, we will use a thread local concept of Java, and we will make a driver as a thread shape. So that time it will be a bit difficult to understand, but let's see. And we'll be creating many base classes for that. Okay, so let me create one method here. Public void, let's say setup method, or let us give some meaningful name, launch browser and navigate. Okay, so this is my method. Now in this particular method, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to launch the browser, I'm going to whatever, do maximize and implicit wait and all those things I'm going to do, and finally I'm going to navigate to the URL. Okay, great. So what I'll do is, on the top itself I will define my WebDriver instance as a static. So what I'll do is, WebDriver public static WebDriver driver driver, so that going forward we are going to use the same driver objects again and again, right? Now how to launch the browser, we already know, we have written this particular code, and by using this particular code we can launch the browser. But uh, let us finish it. Okay, so this is something only for one browser, right? We have not added multiple browser. Okay, and this driver I have already declared. Okay, so this is only for one browser, right? We have not added the conditions for multiple browsers. Okay, now let us do one thing. Let us declare, for now let us declare one variable, or let us do one thing, let us accept a parameter called as string and browser over here. Okay, so that whenever I call this particular method, or instead of accepting it from here, let us accept it from properties file, right? So what we will do is, we will accept the browser from properties file. Okay, so what we will do is, read properties file, and get browser and URL. Okay, so this is the first thing we will do now. And once we got what kind of browser we are using, what's happening, yeah, once we get to know what kind of browser we are going to use, then what we will do is, we will use either switch case or if else statement. For example, let us use if else statement. For now I'm hard coding for his next 5 minutes. Okay, so I'll say string browser is equal to, let's say I want to use Chrome browser now. Okay, let's say this is what I'm getting from properties file. We'll configure it in properties file, but for now let it be. Okay, so what I'll do is, if browser dot equals ignore case, let's say Chrome. Okay, so there are different ways basically how we can handle this condition. We can use switch case, we can use if else, or we can use some advanced concepts as well. Okay, so we'll see that in our advanced framework. We can use stream API and lambda expression as well to achieve the same thing. Okay, so if my browser is Chrome browser, then this particular code will work. right? Then I'll put my this particular code over here because it is specific to Chrome driver. Great. Else if I'll add the same thing basically, but this should be for my Firefox browser. Firefox. If my browser is Firefox, then it should be Gecko driver. Is it Firefox? Yeah, it is Firefox driver, and I should be launching Firefox browser over here. Yeah, and finally, else if again let's say, and let me add it completely. Let's say if it is Internet Explorer, it should be IE driver. What's happening? IE driver, and here I should use Internet Explorer, driver. Okay, there are some Chrome options or Firefox option or some desired capabilities setting which we will work as and when it is required. Okay, so that's it. So now based on the browser it will work. Okay, and my final 2-3 lines will remain same. Whatever kind of browser it is, these particular things will remain same. Okay, great. So okay, now what we will do is we have defined driver over here, right? And it is static and it is present under the class called as test base. Now what we will do is we will extend this particular test base wherever we want a driver. Now I want, let me close this form.xml, let me close this error test. I want this driver in this end-to-end test, right, in the complete class. So what I'll do is at the class level I will extend it. Extend is your inheritance concept, right? I will extend test base itself, right? So if I extend test base, I can accept driver directly. You see, driver dot get, and I will be able to get the whatever. Okay, let me use driver dot get title. Let's say get title. Let me print it. Okay, now you see here I'm not defining any driver over here. Now from where this driver is coming, if I hover my mouse and go, the driver is coming from test base, because when we use inheritance, all the property of this particular class. Why? Because in this particular motorcycle class I have extended test base. That means this test base is a parent or the base class to this particular child class, right? So all the properties of this test base will be now owned by end-to-end test class as well, right? So now if I execute this simply, it is going to execute this particular test case. In this we are not doing anything, just printing the title. Okay, it is failing. Why it is failing? Let's see. It is showing me a null pointer exception. Great. Where is null pointer exception? Null pointer exception is coming okay, the very first line itself is telling null pointer exception is coming at the driver itself is coming as a null. Let's see why. See, we are simply calling the driver, right? And now where are we initializing the driver? Under this particular launch browser and navigate method, right? So we should call this particular method first in order to do this particular things, right? That is launch your browser and navigate to the particular URL, right? Now how we can call these particular method? Again, there are different ways. Since you have defined this WebDriver as a static, you may define this particular method as well static, or since you are extending it directly, what you can do is you can simply do something like driver is equal to this. Okay, and what error it shows? Okay, okay, now why it is showing the error? It says return, change the return type of launch WebDriver to WebDriver. What did I do? Okay, it is wide over here and I'm not returning anything. Why is this error? Let us understand. type mismatch cannot convert from void to WebDriver. Okay, so what basically is happening is I'm trying to assign the value to the driver, right? But this particular launch browser method is not returning anything at all, right? If you go there, it is returning void, right? So you cannot store from void to driver, right? And in fact it is not required because the driver object itself is static. So you can simply do something like this. So this particular those that particular launch browser method will get called directly and driver will get some value assigned to it. Let us quickly try and run. Yeah, it is working. Great, it is working, and it should have printed the title. You see, it has printed the title, Tricentis Vehicle Insurance. Great. So we are able to create a test base and we are able to use the test base. Great. So what we will do is now, in our test base we have still hard coded this particular browser and we have hard coded the URL. So in the next video we will talk about properties file where we are going to parameterize these things. Okay, so next video, stay tuned. Thank you.